quick mic check, Eagles.
Hello, brother. We can hear you properly.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, we will start in a couple of minutes. I think this is going to be the biggest Twitter space for crypto ecosystem. Very good response from community.
Yeah, it's great. We're super excited to be here.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you
we
great.
can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I think we can start within 1 minute. Hope that everything is ready. So people invite your friends and family to listen to this AMA carefully, and also you can read out their all kind of documentation. And if you feel like any problem, any question and query, you can ask through this AMA later that some segment. So stay tuned, everyone. So yeah, I think we can kick off right now. Are you ready?
Yes, we are ready. So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to everyone present here. I am Kamran and I welcome you all on the behalf of Crypto Eagles. We are glad to see you here and I hope you guys are doing well. Please meet my co host, Jenny.
Yeah, hi there. I already talked a lot of, but this is Jenny, actually your favorite crypto host in the crypto space. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so our guest is already here. So, hello, Peppo. Can you hear us properly?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you both for having us today.
Yes, we are glad to see you here. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing pretty good. I had a little bit of a medical, nothing big, but a medical issue last week, so all good now. So back to 100% and happy to be here and ready to share with the PAWCHAIN and the Eagles community.
All right. So first, please introduce yourself and your team with my community, and most important, what is your role in PAWCHAIN ecosystem?
Yeah, happy to do so. So, hi everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever is applicable, since we're spanning a global footprint right now. My name is Fafo365. I am a part of the Genesis team on PawChain, on the PawChain ecosystem. I have been, a part of the community as a whole since it started back in January of this year. First getting invested as a community member in February of this year, and since then we have continued to merge and shift and shape and grow organically. Despite some earlier troubles that we had with Twitter, like a lot of people did, but my role on the team in Genesis is to continue to be a community builder, work alongside our community members, our internal dev team, our internal Genesis team, and really just be a generalist to be able to help scale something that we believe is one of the most remarkable and revolutionary crypto projects that have been launched since the beginning. So I look forward to sharing some of the insights as we go through some of this Q&A. I look forward to the questions from folks in the audience as well. And again, I just want to take a moment to thank you, Crypto Eagles and Jenny, for taking the time to host us today.
Yeah, thank you, sir, to know about yourself. And also, yeah, like people are waiting to ask you some question. No problem. Later we'll take this. So as you know, like the Pawn Swap is developed and inspired with the mantra of digitalized and its core. And they have the mission is to create a DEX that empowers individuals to take control of their financial future and provide a safe and user-friendly platform for trading. But we'll know more from our honorable guest. So, sir, could you please introduce what is PAWCHAIN actually, and also could you say some of its features and ongoing activities?
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of at a simple kind of rudimentary level, Paw is a fully decentralized ecosystem, and it's really grouped to be encapsulated in three main hubs, and that would be the Paw Chain, the Paw Swap, and the Paw Club. So what we're looking to do in these hubs is create a multitude of products and services and utilities within each one of those to revolutionize the way DeFi is operated through governance, the way trading is done through simplicity and security, the way e-commerce marketplace is implemented and ran, and really a community immersion piece as well, like bringing people together in a very unique way, bringing people together in a very cohesive way, and then also transition into the physical world with some merchant adoption pieces that we can talk about a little bit later from a hardware perspective as well. If you were to put kind of like an encapsulated tagline on it, we're an ecosystem that will ultimately enable a seamless transactions, excuse me, both in a digital and in a physical world. So I'll pause there to see if you have a follow-up question. If not, I can jump into some of the existing offerings that we have, some of the existing tech that we have released so far.
We will love to know about that.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that we have done, and again, like I noted earlier on this call, that the project in and of itself started in January of this calendar year. So actually, just a few days ago, we hit our 6-month birthday, so our half-year birthday. So that's pretty cool. And in that 6 months, a lot has transpired. So since its inception, Paul was kicking around the ability to be able to just be a swap, right? It was initially going to be a swap and an easy, simple, intuitive way for people to be able to buy and sell and swap tokens and currencies across the Ether exchange. Sorry, the Ether backbone. What we have developed since then is a little bit of a rebranding and a little bit of a more inclusive way to be a one-stop shop for all things DeFi. So since our inception, we have launched the swap staking platform, and it's pretty amazing. The development team was very impressed that within the first week of launch, that about, I think it was like 29, almost 30% of the total supply of paw had been staked on the platform. And what that really showed was a real testament of trust and enthusiasm from the community and the holders in PawChain's vision and what it will and can be. So the swap staking platform has been launched. We offer a variety of staking opportunities at varying APRs depending upon the level of stake that a person wants to do: locked, unlocked, LP, restaking of rewards. And the rewards, which is really, really amazing, show up in real time. Real time, every 10 to 20 seconds, a user can go in there and watch their rewards be accumulated, which is very, very nice to watch. Since then, we've also launched a custom-built aggregator, and it's an aggregator of aggregators to a degree. So it is an aggregator that works across multiple exchanges, protocols, DeFi platforms to find the best possible trading rate for a user looking to buy an asset. Now, we are bent on people using it for Paw, but it also supports hundreds of other assets, currencies, and tokens. And you get to see your real-time savings before you purchase. So if you go today on aggregator.pawtest, you'll be able to see to swap a token, how much you're going to save, or buy a currency, how much you're going to save in doing that. And you even have an ability to select for save most gas or use cheapest gas or save most cost. It's pretty cool. But that also takes an approach of integrating other aggregators into the aggregator. So when I said aggregator of aggregators, that's what I mean. It is really hitting every and all asset to find the best possible price for maximizing user profits. We also, so far in the last 6 months, have launched our governance model via our DAO. A DAO is pretty self-explanatory to most people who are in this space, but what it's used for us is to be able to empower our user base, our holder base, to be able to nominate and vote on various aspects of the project. And this leads to a really good democratic, and I don't use that word in a political sense, but like democratic and community-led approach. It allows our collective teams and our collective holders to be able to be the rudder, if you will, on how the ship is sailed. And then lastly, for what's been launched so far, we also launched a wallet called Paw Merchant. And this is kind of twofold. This is software based, not hardware at this moment. But it's an ability that allows people to do seamless transactions with Paw. Right now, it would allow for people to be able to do off-chain transactions. So being able to set a sell price. A lot of you on this call may be familiar with OTC, over-the-counter trading, that is done by big central exchanges, mainly for very, very wealthy people, where they set a price of buy and sell, and it's done off-chain to basically eliminate gas or affect price. We are offering that ability for people to be able to do that on our platform as well, and not have to be a multimillionaire to do it. But fast forwarding into the future, which we can talk about maybe at a later question, this Paw Merchant application will also be the mechanism for real world businesses to be able to integrate cryptocurrencies into their payment methods, and work toward a little bit more of a mass adoption, a little bit more of ease into a new space of decentralized finance.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir, for describing in whole. So yeah, people, there is a little information. Like if you wanted to convert your fiat to crypto, so that the PAWCHAIN is one of the best platform. Like they have their unique approach and employs an aggregator model, drawing from the multiple providers to find you the best price for your fiat at any given time. So if you wanted to convert this, you can choose PAWCHAIN. So thank you for answering the question. Get back to you, Hamid.
Right, and yes, I want to add something that PAWCHAIN is the already one-stop shop. Many people get confused by reading just name of project. I want to tell them you guys need to do a little bit research about deciding anything. So you guys are always busy in development. I would be happy if you will tell us about VN and which things are in pipeline. I know something very big is coming soon.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the word soon, but yes, that's a different story for a different day. Yeah, so obviously you're right. There is always development going on. There's always iterations going on. And one thing I'll note before I touch into future developments, one thing that we're doing uniquely different is opening up these utilities and services in an alpha model. It's very uncommon in any software development or any product release for, quote unquote, the public to be able to see something in an alpha model. We made a conscious decision to allow our community to see alpha products, use alpha products, and provide feedback to those products almost in the rawest form. And this was intentional to continue to allow the community to shape, shift, and drive how something is done, how it operates, maybe not like to the back end degree of algorithms and things like that, how a UI works, how a UX works, etc. So all the things I just discussed a minute ago are released in alpha. All the things that are coming that we're going to talk about here in a minute will also, the intent is to release them in alpha. So obviously, big things are coming. We have a dedicated fiat to crypto on ramp that is being developed and released here in the short term. I won't say when. That will allow an individual to utilize some of those same tools I mentioned before, but be able to take a direct payment of fiat and move it to a crypto asset. So the interesting piece in that is there's regulatory pieces there. There's already companies that do it. So integrating into those already regulated companies and entities is a good first step, because now we can leverage their certifications and regulatory compliance as we move from alpha to beta, et cetera. Additionally, we have a payment cards and hardware wallets. We can talk more about that later, but I think where I want to spend the most time on is talking about our layer 2. So here in the short term, we've made some notes and hints and announcements about it. We have developed, not are developing, but have developed a layer 2 blockchain. This will ride on ETH, as we are currently an ETH based token, an ETH based currency. That layer 2 will enable faster transactions that will allow folks to be able to operate on a uniquely developed custom code PAWCHAIN. That layer 2 does have implications to be cross-chain. It is being built for cross-chain, being able to operate and communicate across multiple L1s. That's pretty exciting for us. Again, if you look at the history of our project as a timeline, in 6 months, all of these things have been developed, coded, released, and are under review with CerTic and other third-party auditing entities to ensure safety and security is there. So that L2 is going to be pretty spectacular in my opinion. And beyond that, there will be some additional cross-chain technologies that really enable any user at any, I'll say, experience level to operate in a world that is often ill-defined and not very mature in allowing somebody who's never been in the world before to be able to go operate.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir, for describing this. So, yeah, people like to know more their future plan and also their upcoming plans. You just need to follow the PAWCHAIN and also you just need to stay tuned with them. And also, guys, like if you're looking for staking, you can do like staking with their coin. Like user will be able to stake their PAW tokens to accommodate the rewards, and also their staking platform will be use a flexible locking mechanism to give a yield user the option to lock their tokens and increase their overall yield. And you will get like I can say the PAW without locking generated instant rewards rate that 3% APR. So these funds may be withdraw at any time. So it's time to know more about your token. Could you say more about your token and the utilities and like how your token will be used in your whole ecosystem?
Yeah, that's a great point. And I want to touch on the staking piece again, as you just mentioned. There are varying options for people, based on their risk aversion or even their flexibility and wanting to be able to stake, unstake, et cetera, at their leisure. So as you noted, we have a flexible stake option, 3% APR, stake, unstake at any time. That reward that you get is in WPAW, so wrapped paw. I'll touch on that in a moment. And there is also a locked staking option for 13 weeks at 8% APR. That 13 weeks is a locked timeline. There is a penalty to unstake before that 13-week period. It's all very clear on the website. It even gives you warnings if you accidentally think you're going to try to unstake, so it's pretty nice. but that WPAW piece is kind of where I want to touch on because you asked like how our token can be used in the ecosystem. So two things. On the Paw chain, there is a not even a plan. There is a dedicated method that there will only be one token. There will not be any other tokens created in this ecosystem. So PAW will be used for gas on our L2. PAW will be used for gas on our L3. Our WPAW, as an example, is what is going to be able to be used cross-chain. So as we continue to expand the L2, that WPAW will be able to be sent from ETH to BSC, as an example, and unwrapped on the BSC chain, or sent from, like pick a chain, and that scenario still applies. So one stop shop, one token ecosystem that will enable our collective supply to be able to be spread in such a manner. And, if we want to talk tokenomics, right, like this started as a one quad supply. That was very intentional. As you look at the multitude of chains that we intend to deploy on, we needed that level of supply to be able to provide liquidity on all of those respective chains. So using the one paw ecosystem, using paw as gas, using WPaw as a means to be able to move across chains, this gives people the ultimate flexibility of when, where, and how they want to be able to use our token in a manner that suits them.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir. Happy to know about your token. And so yeah, people, you will get so many benefits and also utilities if you buy that token. And they have their pool swap and aggregator. Like this aggregator will analyze the liquidity pools on the pool swap, like as well as the various third-party protocols to ensure the lowest price impact for their end user. And like the both direction and the multiple transaction will be routed through the aggregator. So this means like that using the aggregator, you will get like the PAWSwap will be able to serve swaps between all tokens with the liquidity on the selected networks. So a lot of opportunity for you guys. You just need to stay tuned. You just need to come in and join and read out their all kind of documentation. If you feel any like difficulties, you can ask on their Telegram through the same. No worries. So yeah, Hamid, get back to you.
Well, yeah, Jenny, actually, sorry, just let me touch on that too.
Yeah,
Our community
sure.
is full. Our community is full of very passionate people, very educated people, and very willing to share information. So, to your point, right? As people go and read through documentation, read mediums, read through our Twitter profile, we are very, very apt at answering questions very truthfully, very transparently, and very relatively quickly, right? So you mentioned Telegram, correct? We also have a Discord where a lot of activity goes on. Our Twitter followers and activity are very, very well versed and happy to answer any questions. Our community is very open to this, and we also have a Reddit page that is run by a couple of our folks within the community. I say all that to say this: if there's a question someone has, they should ask it, and they will get an answer, and that answer will be correct. So anything that needs to come up, any questions that folks have, please do. Obviously, feel free to ask. You will get an answer, and you will get an answer that is true.
All right, and I want to appreciate your community. These guys are real chats. Even when we mention PAWCHAIN in a random influencer post, these guys are all already there. So I appreciate all of them who are taking time to support PAWCHAIN. And I want to ask that what is your biggest strength in your roadmap that you guys believe will do awesome for your community, investors, and most important, your own project, PAWCHAIN?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because we have so much in the works. I'm going to answer this one personally. I actually think the biggest strength will come in our hardware, our point of sale systems, our ability to integrate into existing point of sale systems in real life. and even create our own bespoke hardware models, coupled with the PAW card, right? So an ability to have a dedicated card that will be able to be used in any place where a card is accepted. And the reason I think that that's the biggest strength in the roadmap and creates the most, I'll say ROI, return on investment, for the community, for the investors, and for the project, is it really opens up a door for anyone and everyone to be able to be a part of the ecosystem. It creates an ability for merchants that do not use point of sale systems today because of fees from credit card companies, or interest rates and taxes and barriers to entry, or even merchants that use POS systems, which I realize sounds redundant. So POS is point of sale, so point of sale systems, but that use POS, it gives them an ability to open up a new vector for bringing in decentralized finance, bringing in an ability for them to use a currency that they may not have accepted before. So as we think about, wide scale adoption, as we think about wide scale um, exposure to this, that to me is one of the biggest strengths on our roadmap. A very close second, and it may even like teeter between first and second, depending on the day of the week. It is really our layer three. Now that is a term that's not very common. Most people know layer one, right? So like Bitcoin is layer one, Ethereum's layer one, layer two builds on layer one. Our layer three will be the ability for us to be our own chain, but also be an interstate, if you will, right? Working across multiple chains, being truly cross-chain without being a bridge. That just opens up Pandora's box to an ability for us to be able to be in and on every chain. So I kind of gave you two answers there, but those are the two that I think, from my perspective, are the biggest strengths.
Okay, yeah, thank you, sir. Got it. So, yeah, as I mentioned, and also you mentioned, like, people, if you wanted to know more, as you know, like, this is not possible to explain everything through the same, but we try to explain the core and the main idea. So, guys, get ready with your best question. If you have any more question, you can ask through the same. So, sir, are you ready for the live segment?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so people make a request to me so that I can choose someone, and also don't forget to like make your own research to understand their project. Wait a bit. Okay, I can see here the bull. Hello, the bull. Can you hear us?
The bull is still on
Hello.
mute.
Oh, just wait a bit. Hello, bull.
He is he is angry bull.
Yes. Mr.
Okay, so
Bull,
we
can you?
can, Jenny, we can
Okay.
move forward to Fortune. Fortune
Yeah,
will be the
sure. Hope that.
next.
Yeah. Hope that like his network issues. So, Fortune, are you there? Hello, Fortune.
Looks like the bull came off mute.
Wait a bit. Like Twitter is so bad sometimes. Hello, Fortune. Can you hear us? So we can choose another one. Here is I can see Vanquist. Hello, Vanquist. Okay, let him in first. Hello, Vanquist.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, finally we got you. Ask your question, please.
Yeah, so like there are many like meme type projects. So how are you differentiating from them? Like your what are your strategies?
Yeah, it's a great question. We don't necessarily like to consider ourselves a meme, but I get it. I think our strategies and our differentiators are some of the things we talked about today, right? So I'll start back with utilities that are custom code that are written specifically for a purpose, bespoke, but also being able to be integrated into one another as an ecosystem. Our strategy has always been, sorry, when somebody bleeps to come up, it like startled me. Our strategy has always been to create an environment that is secure, and that's why we do audits for everything. To create an area that allows for anybody at any experience level to be able to be in the ecosystem and use it. But then thirdly, we really aim to create utilities that matter. And I pause there for a second because I didn't want to like speak out of turn, but the things that we create are specifically for the people, right? An aggregator that saves someone money benefits them. An ability to stake and receive rewards in real time benefits them, right? So creating this ecosystem that is for the people, right? By the people, governed by the community via our DAO, really is our strategy. Really is our way of ensuring we're doing the right thing for the right people at the right time.
Okay, so thank you, Sir Francis. Banco is hope that you got the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your question. So Fortune, are you there?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes, ask your question, please.
All right. So, my question, with respect to the platform, I just want to know, like, how secure is the security, like, architecture of the chain platform, and also how do we, I mean, which mechanism do you use to like secure the smart contract from hacks? In the future, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to make sure I understand your question, right? So you're asking about security for the chain as itself, what mechanisms we use for
Hello, Fafo, are you there?
securing the smart contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, from hacks. Yeah.
Yeah, we're I could hear Fortune, so we're good. So a couple different things. There for every utility that we put out, including the smart contract for staking and others, we do make sure it undergoes CertiK audit. So right now we have multiple code bases that are in review with CertiK. We are doing that purposely to ensure that safety and security is done first and foremost. If you're getting into like proof of work versus proof of stake versus proof of authority, I can't really discuss much of that right now until we actually launch the L2, which is coming. But that is another mechanism that we're using for ensuring good security across the chain. And we also are working through other non-CertiK third-party auditing teams for our products and services, because you never want to put all your eggs in one basket, right? Like if CertiK for some reason, no longer was the gold standard in people's minds, then now we have, all these audits that are like useless, right? I don't believe that to be the case, but I'm just making that note. Fortune, does that help answer the question?
Yeah, that is quite okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fortune, for your question. So the next one is Daisy. Hello, Daisy.
Hello, thank you for giving the mic. I just want to know what are we expecting from you from the coming months from your project in the coming months?
Yeah, I couldn't fully hear that. Can somebody can you repeat that one time? There was a little
Yeah,
bit of background noise.
Daisy, could you please repeat once again, kindly?
Okay, I say what can we expect from your project in the coming months, in the coming
Oh,
months
yeah,
and
yeah.
weeks, like on your roadmap?
Yeah, perfect. So just repeating for everybody, DC asked what can we expect from the project in the coming weeks, coming months?
Yeah.
A lot, candidly. Our teams move very fast. As we noted, a little bit earlier, the project in itself is about 6 months old as of 4 days ago. So in the coming weeks and months, we are releasing the Alpha L2. We are releasing the fiat to crypto on-ramp. And there's a likelihood that there will be a few other utilities and surprises that maybe I've talked about and hinted on here. But those two in and of themselves are pretty big, especially the L2. What we're looking to show is that a proper L2 that's custom code and written doesn't have to take forever, right? It can be done, and it can be done securely, and it can be done professionally in a relatively proper timeline. I'll just say that.
Okay, DC, hope that you got your answer.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you. And
DC.
also, like, you can follow their kind of social link to know more their future plan. And thank you for your question. So the next one is Alifa. Hello, Alifa.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hi,
Alifa,
Alifa.
ask your question, please.
Okay. My question: what's the future roadmap of PAWCHAIN, and what's the upcoming event we will expect still December, and how early investor we will be rewarded? That's my question.
Hope that you
Jenny,
recently discussed this question.
Jenny, please, we can move forward.
Yes, definitely. Sorry, Alifa. Like we recently, like the previous question, we described all the things. Sorry for that. The next one is David. Hello, David.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, David, you are.
My question is, what is your plan to attract more audience? And have you reached the goal in your latest project?
Jenny, I don't know if you heard that. I couldn't make out the question because of the road noise.
No problem. We can move forward. We have
Oh,
another.
wait a bit. Like we have, like we need to give a chance. Okay, he has got no
Uh,
problem. So Rico. Hello, Rico.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, I just want to know where chain tend to handle liquidity challenges that often arises from decentralized exchanges.
why you guys are so at noisy places? I can't.
Rico. Yeah. There is so many noise from your side. Could you please off the music and you can ask your question once again, please?
Rico's at the club right now.
Okay, I just want to know what are some of the strategies you're going to tend to solve liquidity issues in your decks?
Okay, yeah. Let me repeat the question for everybody. So Rico asked, what are the strategies for solving some of the liquidity issues that exist in our decks? Is that correct, Rico?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So this is where having the cross chain capability will be really great. The WPAW I mentioned earlier, the supply that we have will enable us to go and deploy liquidity smartly. So we can take our part of our supply and we can move it to whatever chain that we believe will be the right next step, the most secure chain, the most used, etc. So by having that one quad supply, which again was intentionally done at the beginning, allows us that ability to pick up and move liquidity where we need to move it, when we need to move it. There's also some mechanisms in place based on the DAO vote that will allow us to be able to take fees that are take fees from our services when people use them and divide them up across different pieces, right? So across marketing, across liquidity, across other efforts that our DAO recently approved.
So Rico, hope that you got your answer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So the next one is Shelly. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Shelly.
And Jenny, while Shelly comes off real quick to you and Kamran, I know this is being recorded. Where will our collective, teams and communities be able to go get this recording when done?
It's like, yeah, go on.
Everyone can see here. We will provide link it will be available on our space, on our profile. We can also share that to you guys. No problem. We will
Okay.
do another tweet for this recording. Anyone can hear that.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yes, and also like we can like pin with this link in our Telegram community so that anyone can check it out. No worries about that.
Yep, perfect. Thank you for that. You too.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
thank you. So Shelly, are you there? So hope that there is some kind of issue. So we need to take another one. Okay, wait a bit. I'm unmuting Maria. Hello, Maria. Get back and also ask you a question.
Hello, guys. Thank you for bringing me up here. So my question is this: how do you plan to actually increase the value of your token, Paul, and prevent the manipulation of your token by whales or the market condition? Thank you.
Got it. I'm going to repeat it real quick, Maria. So you had asked, and just give me a thumbs up if I get your question correctly. You had asked how we intend to increase the value or the price of Paw, and how we also intend to prevent the manipulation of the price from like whales. Is that correct? Cool. I got a thumbs up from Kamran. Cool. Yeah. Kind of a multiple answer here. So bear with me for a second. You increase a value proposition via people. You increase a value proposition via utility, right? So our view is like hype is always a thing in this space, but hype to me fails. Utility to me scales. So as we continue to develop and launch really intuitive utilities that people use, that gives us an ability to access more and more people, more and more holders. As we create the cross chain, as we are on more chains, we open ourselves up to maybe people who don't like ETH, right? Like who like BSC more. So our value proposition in increasing value is through launching notable utilities that matter, that people will use. But then we also, you brought up a good point. Like, how do you protect against, whale manipulation? I don't think that there's any mechanism in any project to protect against that, candidly. I think the one area where we do benefit is the folks that are in our community today are in our community because they know that we have value that's going to be broader than what it is. It has an ability to reshape decentralized finance to be able to be, I won't say the next big thing, but I'm going to say the next big thing because it's my call and I can say that. And at the end of the day, like, an investor is going to do what an investor does, right? So there's not really a mechanism in any project to protect against that.
Okay, Maria. Hope that you got your answer.
Yeah, Jenny. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your question, and don't forget to follow them. So the next one is Nadia. Hello, Nadia. Are you there?
Yeah. Hello, Jenny. Thanks for bringing me
Hi.
up. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes. Ask your question, please.
Okay, my question is, are there any other fees associated with using PAWCHAIN, and what role do your community play in the project?
Yeah, I heard the second part of the question. Do you mind asking the first one again about the fees? Because I didn't hear that one fully. I apologize.
I said, are there any other fees associated with using the PAWCHAIN?
Yep, got it. Perfect. Thank you for that. So currently today, as in alpha, there are no fees associated with using the tools and services and utilities that we have. If you were going to ask me next, like, what will those fees be? My answer is I don't have that answer right now. There will be, just to be, transparent and plain. As an example, in the aggregator, there will be an aggregation fee that is associated with using the service. The aggregation fee will then be used for internal team initiatives, so marketing or liquidity pools or development, etc. So yes, there will be. No, there is not today, because everything we're releasing today is in alpha. As it relates to how does the community get involved and how does the community help shape and shift, what the project will do, it's twofold. One, we're a very active listening group. Our development team listens to people's recommendations, people's concerns, people's thoughts, people's feedback. But we also have a DAO, and the DAO is actually how the entire project will be governed. So anyone who is a holder is able to go into the DAO and make community level proposals, minor level proposals, major proposals, and we have definitions of what those are, both in our medium about the DAO and on the DAO side as well. So we get to be, as holders, as community members, we get to be, I'm going to go back to the term, the rudder for the ship that gets to show and shape or shift, that gets to steer, that's the word I was looking for, gets to steer the way the project is run.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you very
Nadia.
much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you for your question also. And the last one, I think, the beach. Hello.
Hello, how are you all?
Yeah, yeah, good.
Can you
So
hear
ask
me?
your question, please. Yeah, clear.
So my question is, if I was buying PAWCHAIN ecosystem today, then what can I expect in the next 1 or 2 years?
I'll repeat it back to make sure I got it. You said, what do we expect in the next 1 or 2 years? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's talk 2024. Actually, let's talk about next year. And do you mind going on mute real quick? There's a little bit of background noise.
Beach, could you please mute yourself kindly?
I did
Okay.
for you
Okay.
guys. No
Okay,
problem.
thank you. Yeah, no worries. And so I want to go back and repeat the question. What do we expect in the next 1 to 2 years? I don't want to talk, 2024 right now.
Fafo, I want to add, sorry to interrupt, I want to add something here.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think exactly she was asking that if she will come as an investor right now, if she will invest right now, or she's taking part in PAWCHAIN community right now, then what she will get. I want to change a little bit because I have a lot of questions that what will we expect next. So if we will talk specifically about what if someone will invest right now, so we can change a little bit.
Got it. So, and that is Kamran asking, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So the question is like, as an investor, if she invests your project or if she join, what he will expect for the next like 2 years?
Yeah, this is gonna sound like a wishy-washy answer, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Like, I don't know, like I can't put like a market cap price. I can't put a percent increase or whatever like that. Like no one can. Here's what I can tell you that will happen in the next 1 to 2 years. We will continue to develop and release very intentional, very integrated ecosystem utilities that enable wide-scale adoption. We will do things in our power to increase our investors' portfolio is the wrong word, but our investors' investment in PAW. We won't do things that will harm that. We won't go take partnerships that can hurt that. We won't go invest in things that mean nothing to anybody. We won't make empty promises and then string people along for an extended period of time. So can I tell you like what the price point will be, this time next year? No, absolutely not. Can I tell you what the market cap will be? No, absolutely not. Can I tell you that like I know that I'm in it even before I was a part of the team? I'm in it and I'm in it for the long haul? Absolutely. The fact that I can go in right now and I can go stake and I can make real-time rewards for passive income, like that tells me a lot about what the team's long-term vision is. And it tells me that I am making, me personally, Fafo, am making a sound investment.
Yeah, that's true. And also, like, no one know the future actually. So I can say, like, they will try their best. If you invest in their project, they'll try their best to make you profitable. So for that, you just need to stay tuned. You just need to believe on themselves actually.
Yeah, and Jenny, look, I mean, like again, I wasn't always a part of the Genesis team, right? Like I started here as a regular. I'm not saying regular. That sounds so like menial, right? But I started here as an investor, right? So like I have skin in the game. I have stake in. I don't want to use the word stake, but I have stake in the game as well. So yeah, we will do everything in our power to continue to increase the value proposition because it benefits everyone who's a member, a holder, an investor.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for all the clarification. So I think we are enough for now. We have to wrap up this segment, but before that, is there any important news you want to share? Like you think we have to know this? So, and also, is there any closing statement to your community?
No, like news that we need to know. Everybody's aware that we're inching towards something in short order. So I'll just leave that little bit of a teaser there. And in closing, I just want to say, as a community member, as someone who is always learning. I am just thankful for, folks like, Eagles, folks like Jenny, folks like our community and the Eagles community who really care about a space, that really try to share good information, try to share things that can help people grow intellectually and, within a very unique space. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for the time here on the call. And at the end of the day, yeah, let's just keep learning and growing together.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, sir, for your precious time to our community. And also, I'd like to thank everyone for having here to listen to this email carefully. And people, don't forget to join their community. And also, as I said, like if you have any more question or query, you can ask on the Telegram, Discord. They have very active team. They will answer your question. So thank you, sir, once again. Best wishes to your project for the future.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Kamran. Thanks, Jenny, for your time.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
good
Pepper, for
everyone.
joining us
Bye.
today. That was a great session with you guys.
Yeah, we look forward to having these more often.
Yeah,
Sure.
bye everyone.
We will love to see you here.